Hello Geminis, how you doing? Welcome to your energy reading here on the Astroflower, going from the 8th to the 14th of September. I hope you're doing well. Messages from energy this week. It was all about, I'm going to go into the elements first because I think it's very particular for your sign. It's about earth and fire, yeah? So that's not your elements, but actually you have a lot more fire in you on your Astroflower than you do have air. You're one of these full signs like Capricorn, like myself, Capricorn, Sagittarius, the sign opposite you, who has more air than they do have fire, and also Cancer as well. So it's just one of these peculiarities. There's these pure signs and there's these false signs in a way, or these which I am one of, like your good selves. But this means you have a lot of fire going through your system, but you also have a lot of earth going through your system as well. And it ties into your karmic paths, the route or the pathway that you should be walking in regards to your business or your personal life. But also it's in connection to the outside world. So this is how you network on your financial side, and also how you play and enjoy and engage with the world on your relationship side. This fire and earth comes from the outside, comes into your karmic path, and then goes through your central being and is released into the here and now. It's all about manifestation for you this week, I think, more than anything else. So you need to be very focused and single-minded in a way, in the way in which you go about things, making sure that anything that you take on board is for your greater pathway. So not very particular with Geminis, because Geminis love helping out and everything like that. It's absolutely fantastic. For this week here, though, I would really concentrate on your own path. I think it's really important, and it doesn't make you a bad person at all. It doesn't make you egotistical. It makes you normal, natural, because that's the way everything works in the universe. Everything works on the premise that as long as I am okay, everybody else can be okay, rather than when everybody else is okay, I'm okay, because that does not work. You can't make sure 7 billion people are okay before you're going to be okay. It just doesn't work. So don't try and do the impossible. Do the possible. Aspire maybe to the impossible, but don't try and do the impossible. So there you go. That's one part and parcel of that manifestation videos that I did a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. A great video about simple ways to manifest things in your life. Yes, and it's all to do with this shift as well, because we've got this lunar eclipse coming up, and then we've followed by a solar eclipse. And I did do a video on the eclipses as well, because it's all about the crown and the root, really. And that's about our vertical energy, our karmic path. And this is why it ties even better for you this week more than anything else. You may even have a major revelation from this weekend about what your path is all about. When you get that revelation, I would follow it if I was you. That's the general energies. If you haven't seen the messages from energy, you will find it floating around my head at some point at the end of this reading. Let's just find out and get some messages from the energy, chakra sequencing, pull some cards. If you've got questions that you want to be channeled and answered, channeled to you, please do put it in the comment section, and I will channel it in next week's reading. Okay, so let's just connect to that energy there. Okay, so we're sat on an energy line that goes here. There's a church that's just there. Fantastic energy line. Let's see what's going on for you. Okay, it seems like the energy is trying to create a vortex for you. And this vortex this is how we use energy to to go from one place to another. And I think this has all got to do with that timeline that I was talking about last week and the week before as well, even for the last 2 or 3 weeks, where you've got this opportunity to change paths within your life. And it seems like this is it. You're walking through that vortex. And as you go through that vortex, you can either go that way, or that way, or that way. It's the choice, or there is no choices really, but the pathway that is good for you. And this is why I think you need to really concentrate on it. And energy is making sure this happens for you. So you may feel like you're caught up in a bit of a whirlwind and stuff like that. if you just kind of go, actually, what is good for me? And then you'll kind of go, oh, look, there's my pathway. And all of a sudden the whirlwind, becomes a background noise more than anything else. It's a little bit like in Contact. It's a little bit how that works. That's very similar to how that thing in Harry Potter, when they fall down onto that vine and then they've got to relax in order for it to release them. It's a similar sort of situation there. So I would, have your tea meditation, which is a meditation I did for every morning. It will help you out enormously. But it is a major moment of discovering your pathway here. Let's just see what is getting in the way of messages from energy for you. It's strange. It's like, when we say follow the light, if you imagine if someone was shining a massive light in your face, you'd be blinded by the light. But that's not quite how it works. It's almost like, I would say, like the sunshine through the trees of a forest, that you can see a clear pathway for you. And that's what energy seems to be wanting to create here. And it's gonna need some form of travel, and maybe physical in the sense of moving somewhere, or changing jobs, or that sort of thing. But it may also be tied into, say, like learning something, going on workshops and so forth. Learning about something that you can then use in the future for a completely new pathway. So it could be like a voyage within yourself as well, that it seems to be going here. Whatever it is, it's like, at some point you seem to be turning to light speed and just going, oh, there it is, boom, and you're off. It's really good for you, I think. I just would be, don't forget, you've got to live your path. If you don't, you will be very disappointed, and it's, make relationships a little bit more difficult because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So, I would really go for that. Let's just see what's going on the financial side as well. I see in the way of sort of jobs and material and stuff like that. Straight away, I get like, you could be getting itchy feet here, looking to move house or something like that, or you're going on holiday, or it just seems like it's like you're getting a scenery that goes past with, and it's particularly showing me houses in particular, as they come through. It's like it's becoming a focal point for you. Maybe it's the home life or the way of life of home that you wish to be doing. It may be a case of kind of saying, do you know what, I want a garden, I want to start doing my own allotment within my garden and stuff like that. Therefore, I'm going to need a different type of property. Therefore, I'm going to need a different type of job. And that's what the whole manifestation thing's all about here. I think the opportunities will arise when it becomes clear about you setting up your home. That's what it seems to be here. And as I say, this home is not necessarily a physical thing. It could also be your home as feeling this is exactly the job for me. Rather than I can do this job. It's not exactly the most greatest job in the world, and I'm not really happy with it, but I can do it. I wouldn't be satisfied with that. You're aspiring to the possible there. I would aspire to the impossible, but I would do the possible. So I would let it. It could be an evolution within your financial world, within your job and your business and your projects, due to a realization of what you feel at home with in regards to what you're doing in the way of a job. Okay, so let's just see what's going on the relationship side. Let's connect to that sort of side there. Sometimes in conflict, pacifying the situation can work, but not every time. And I'm not saying, be argumentative and stuff like that. I would just be very conscious about the fact that you are heading off on a pathway. It doesn't necessarily mean that other people have to come on that pathway with you. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you want that person on your pathway either. I think if once you present a pathway to someone, it's going to, this is where the conflicts come to an end. And it feels like the conflict has been very one way more than anything else. And that's your nice side, Gemini. You know, you tend to sort of like just accept it, you know, and I'm not necessarily sure that that's the best policy. You know, it's not a case of, you know, conflict is not good, but heated discussion can be very good. You know, being very frank. And that was the other thing that came out, the messages from energy as well, speaking one's truth. And I feel like that's what you need to do within your relationship here. I think you just need to be brutally honest. There is a great deal of, maybe this also, there is a, you know, there is a great love for you here, and it's moving from one world to another. That's what it seems like you're doing here. And you know, it's not always easy, but I definitely think you should be heading towards, because once you move away from that, it's a real yin and yang situation here. One side is a little bit heavy, the other side is really light and beautiful and creative. And I think it's like finalizing certain aspects, and it could be friends, family, community, it could be people around you that it's just like kind of going, you know, I'm heading off down this way. I'll see you when I see you. You know, take it easy. It's been great this time with you and everything like that. You know where I am if you want to come with me, or you know, and what have you. You know, if that's right for you. But I just think it needs to be. I think there needs to be a frank conversation that needs to happen. So there you go. Yeah, but if you're heading off after your thing, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. Let's just have a look and see what's going on in the spiritual sort of sense. In a spiritual sort of sense, it feels like you're taking your place in heaven, as it were. You're taking your place at the table, uh, in a spiritual sense, where you feel now you're part of something that's far greater than it was before. It's like a revelation for you that you are part of the kingdom, rather than kind of like aspiring to the kingdom, if you know what I mean. And it's a wholesome sensation of, yes, it is that feeling of being at home as well that comes into the spiritual sort of side of it all. And there's no more questions, there's no more doubt. There will be in the future, obviously, because that's the nature of things. It's like a pendulum. It swings to extremes and comes back to the central point. And then, but you're having this central point at the moment, feeling really at one with yourself. So that's really good. Really chuffed about that. Very good for you. Let's just have a look at your chakra sequencing and see what's going on there, so you know sort of rhythm, how to sort of project yourself and project into your pathway. Okay, so we've got the central point there already. Here we go. We've got the crown and the root. Now, the crown seems to be a lot more important than the root. So obviously this is a conscious-based decision that you're making this week here, or taking a direction more than anything else. And I would be, you know, if it all sits together nicely between what you think, what you feel, and what you see, you know, in the physical sense. If you're hitting the three, then that is it. That is your pathway. And so, you know, you can get little checklists to make sure that, and this is where the consciousness comes into place. You consciously take that step forward. And they're not really overpowering. They're still sitting in the background, and that's all to do with the eclipse things that's going on. Okay, let's just see where it's moving on to, because it does want to move on. It moves on to the solar plexus, and this is where that determination and courage and confidence comes from. I think this is also where the conversation will also come from as well. It seems like you're talking from a place of strength, a place of knowing, a place of where you should be. And I think that's how you should engage in the conversation, making sure it fits right for your stomach. If your stomach's going in a knot, it's because your stomach's talking to you and sort of saying, something that's wrong here. And I would stop for 2 seconds, just allow it to drop and everything like that, and kind of go, okay, it's that situation there. Therefore, I've got to speak to that person. And that person's not the problem. The problem is the situation. So when you talk to them, don't use the words you and I, use us and we. So then therefore it becomes very sort of, it's not directed at anybody, and then only solutions can be found. And you can say things quite frankly with people. Okay, so yeah, let's see where it's moving on to now. But it is saying it's not letting me go yet, because it does want to sort of reiterate that idea of striding towards your light. Okay. And it moves up to the third eye and the throat. Don't overthink things. Live the moment, see it how it is, act according to that moment, and don't overthink things. Don't mull things over here. You don't have time for this, I don't think, this week, Gemini. I think it's just a case of applying yourself and going, as it were. Yeah, applying yourself and going. Certainly much more within the third eye than the throat. Where's it moving on to here? And that's where we get the light. So here we get the heart, and it's not like, wow, heart. It's really, it's like you're coming home to where you should be. Basically, Gemini. Really, really nice, warm heart energy there. Really beautiful. Really welcoming, cozy, that sort of thing. And I think that's the difference between the hard thing of the solar plexus and the heart there. I think is a stark difference between the two there. And then it goes back to the crown and the root. And this time when you go back, it goes back to much more within the root than the crown. So this is where you get this grounding effect of feeling at home. And that is that sort of like first step in the direction of where you should be going. Okay, so absolutely beautiful. Really good reading for you this week, yeah? Very productive, actually. Let's just pull a few cards. Don't forget, if you want to ask a question that you want channeled in next week's reading, you know, just pop it in the comment section, and we'll try and answer all of that. Let's just pull a few cards. We're going to pull a card on your financial side, then on your personal life, and then the general energy that's running through you. So on your financial side, that is exactly it. Standing in your power. It's all solar plexus. It's going off on a journey. It's knowing how to manifest things. It's like, you know, becoming the leader of your own path here, Gemini. You are definitely going to be doing it. It's going to be fantastic for you. No doubt about it. Really good sort of opportunity here for you. Massive, life-changing opportunity. A life-changing opportunity is coming your way. What's going on the relationship side? Wow, look at that. The Knight of Wands protecting the King of Wands. I think this is the thing that may be holding you back, is that personal side of life. And, you know, the mission that you've got to be going off on can be, you know, could be your partner going with you. There's no split up that has to, you know, happen or anything like that. But it just needs to be said. But there's a definite going towards the joyous light side and being spontaneous, and it is going to come. It's going to come to you very, very quickly. And look at that. That's the energy running through you. The High Priestess. Don't overthink things. Think and be involved in the moment. She's very much in the moment, the High Priestess. Really beautiful card here. She's very good at manifesting, but she has also control over her emotions. She's not having her emotions that are flowing all over the place. They are, but she's got control over them. You know, she's not being afflicted by them. It's being something that she's constructing through her emotional connection with everything. So absolutely beautiful energies for you there, Gemini. Hope you have a massive week. Sorry about being a little bit late this week. We do have a live coming out. And I did do a video on the 3-eye atlas as well. So you may want to go and see that, because we're going to be talking about that in the live. In the meantime, thanking you very much for subscribing, liking and sharing and all of that malarkey. I will see you soon. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun. So please do enjoy.